dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. Factories hum with a steady grace, ideas born in this boundless space. A light bulb flash, a towering steel in every corner. The promise feels real. From the ground to the stars, we're built on dreams, we're raising bars. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's time for Kaffee Klatsch once again, which is a U.S. Euphemism for a gathering of folks together, particularly for a cup of coffee, something like that. Welcome back, Luva Eve. Thank you for the 140 Rand. I don't know why that didn't come up. Is the alerts thing turned off? I didn't see it come up. Let me see. Alert box is on, so what's going on there? Also, YouTube is still playing funny games. I can't see whether I'm live or not here, but I have opened up the stream and I can see it. Let me listen to the sound from that end. Here, but I have opened up. Okay, so the sound is good too. All right, so yeah, but in my studio, I'm getting blank. Let me show you what my studio looks like. This is what YouTube has been doing to me for this week. Look at that. See it spinning there? That's not normal. That's not how it's supposed to work. That should go live when I go live. YouTube is up to some crap here. They're really, either they screwed up something or they're up to something malicious. I suspect they've just simply screwed something up. So it's not a surprise. Anyway. But yeah, that doesn't load. So the last several broadcasts, I've had to wait till several minutes after the broadcast started before I could even see I was live. That actually led to me being late yesterday for a rugby match. Sorry for that. It happens on all my channels, not just one. Either that or somebody's inside my system. You know, that's a possibility too. Using Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs OBS. Hey, Pikachu. I'm sorry I didn't respond to your message yesterday, Pikachu, but it was okay that we postponed. It was just as well that we postponed yesterday. I wound up having a lot I had to do. So, let's look at doing it later, but I'm flying on Thursday. We can do it Wednesday, but that's, I don't know if you want to do it that same day, maybe over the weekend, we'll see. But Saturday, of course, is the big meet and greet in Texas. The big meet and greet in Texas. Yeah, when doesn't YouTube screw something up? That's a good question. Okay, it's live now. I can finally close this window. Good. Now I can finally see myself. So this is what you see. This is in my studio, so I can see that I'm actually, and I can actually turn that sound on. This is what you see. This is in my studio, so See, there you go. So I can do that. So there you go. But without that, it's hard to see whether you're live or not, and you need to know. So anyway, right. So don't forget, we have the big Texas meet and greet, folks. Yep, that's the big Texas meet and greet coming up next Saturday. Yeah, the Colonel's meet and greet.
The cape behind, there's a brand new horizon for us to find. From the streets of Joburg to the Pretoria Sun, a new chapter starting and it's just begun. It's not Santon, baby, and it's not Margate. We're trading the reef for the Lone Star State. No JRU or the South Fork crew, just a red, white, and blue welcome waiting for you. From Bosnia's hills to the Botswana sand, he's carried the fire all across the land. Peace in the heart of the West. No more looking back at the shadows and gloom. In the land of the brave, there is plenty of room. Grab a plate, grab a hand, feel the Texas heat. There's a whole lot of love at this meet and greet. The Colonel is coming, yeah, he's leading the way to the greatest nation where we're gonna stay. Purpose and honor, moral and just, promise of freedom. We put our trust from the Southern Cross to the bright Lone Star. We know who we are, we know who we are. Get ready for the Colonel's Texas meet and greet, where the Southers and the Patriots all dance in the street. The eagle's wings, where the spirit flies high, underneath that big old Dallas sky. It's camaraderie, it's liberty, it's a brand new day. South Africa, welcome to the USA. The Colonel's in town, yeah, he's in town. In the Lone Star State, don't be late. From the bushveld to the bayou, welcome home, welcome home. Welcome home, welcome
Well, there you go, folks. The big meet and greet this Saturday, the 7th of February in Argyle, Texas, just outside of Fort Worth, just north of that. Welcome back. So let's get to it with questions. If you got questions, Fleshing, you're banned from the program. You're dead to me. Ronaldo's music sucks. Don't spread propaganda here on my channel. All right. So as a licensed practical, I don't know what that is. What is an LPR? Can you join the U.S. Air Force? I don't know what an LPR is, Captain Bliggs. I'm not sure why your message to Lee, I think, was a mistake. Can you join the U.S. Air Force? Once you have permanent residency, if you meet the qualifications, including the age limitations, you can join the U.S. Air Force. Yep, you can join the U.S. Army. You can join the Marines. You can enlist. Just have to be a permanent resident and without a criminal background who meets the educational standards, and it's pretty simple, and the health standards. All right. Getting to beer. Welcome to you. Yep. Are more airlines being added and working alongside the program? The short answer is yes, Penguin. And have been added. Lots of people come over here in ways other than you realize, but I have not been advertising that because, frankly, it doesn't matter and it's nobody's business because the evil people will try to use that and sabotage the program. Lawful permanent. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Sorry, LPR. Yeah. Well, lawful permanent resident. That would be a green card holder. Yes. Once you're a green card holder, you can enlist in the military as long as you meet the standards. Absolutely. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen. Our military history has been full of people. At the battles of Fredericksburg in Virginia, the armies in the Confederate and on the U.S. side were full of Irish immigrants who weren't citizens. In Battle of Gettysburg, we're full of thousands of Germans who died on the battlefield who weren't even U.S. citizens. Yep. Well, Arno, that's what you get for watching my case. Stop watching it. It's not meant to be shared with you all. I don't know why they're sharing with you. It's internal usage. It will constantly go open, closed, open, closed, open, closed as more aspects go on. It isn't a fully informative website. Stop following it. Stop following it. Been my recommendation now for weeks. All it's doing is causing undue stress on people. Yep. Finally done cooking and eating on time. Well, I haven't eaten. I'm hungry, Iceman. Sorry, but I'm not. Blue Monday is my favorite song ever. All right. On average, after submitting your essay, how long before your first contact? There's no such thing as an average, Delan Jordan. There's no such thing as an average, so don't try to figure it out. We have people who submitted emails and then did statements of interest and intake questionnaires dating back to February last year who haven't been contacted yet. So there is no average. How can I take an average? So I take somebody that submitted a PRM email on the 12th of February last year, and now it's the 1st of February. They haven't been contacted. I mean, the average would be 360 days. But people who got things in July have been contacted. Some people got it in February, have been contacted. They're already over here. There's no average. Stop trying to figure an average. There's no average. You just have to be patient. Wait. What can an agent single if trying to force them into an ideal combination? Well, there's not a lot of recourse you have other than reach out to me and maybe we can try to make them do a better job for you. I can't promise you anything, but I I guess I've become a refugee advocate. I mean, is that a fair statement? Is that a fair statement? That wasn't my intent. My intent was to be just reporting on this. Is it fair to consider Colonel Chris Wyatt to be an objective or EFUG advocate? God bless it. My typing has really gotten that hill. All right, so there's a poll. Yeah, so yeah, I know. I also dealing with a case where somebody, I just posted a video about the political nonsense that many refugee case officers are interjecting into the case. I want to know if anyone can maybe tell me, is it possible to have your medical in a person interview one day? It has happened, Marissa, but it's not the norm. Not the norm. It depends on scheduling. You guys, look, I mean, you all think that like there's a process to go through. They're jumping through hurdles to make stuff happen. If someone died and there's suddenly a medical available and it's on the day you're there and they can get you from that place to that place, then they may schedule you for it just so we don't lose an appointment. Yeah. The cap is reached. Will current refugee applicants roll over? Yes, they would, Debbie. So why would I kill you for the question? That's a pretty harsh thing to kill you. I don't kill anybody. No, if they do in fact go abide by the cap, anyone who's in the queue would be called up as long as their medicals haven't expired. If it's beyond the 6 months, they're probably going to force you to take medicals again. And once your medicals are approved, then they'll restart it. Simple as that. WhatsApp, yeah, send me a WhatsApp, yeah. All right, Toothless Wonder, send it to me. Do I know anything about the October approval that was meant to fly out before the first shutdown that has any contact? Golda, I do not. I have reached out to the U.S. government on a couple of occasions about this issue, actually several occasions, including just this past week, to say, what the hell's going on? I mean, we got people, in fact, I know someone who had their flight canceled the first week of October, then they were rescheduled for January or February 3rd. That flight has been canceled. What's going on? Why is this person being canceled? They're approved, so why do you keep canceling their flights? This is a family that's particularly in danger because News 24 is doxing them and trying to make them a target for murder. Yeah, that's not what News 24 claims they're doing, but that's what News 24 has done in effect by doxing them, by running stories about them in the press, and I'll leave it at that. Yep. Hey, Vimpy. I want to take the time to thank the Colonel for assistance he gave me and my family on Thursday. Is really great and respond immediately. He does a lot behind the scenes. Yeah, no, Vimpy, people have no idea. I spent 2 hours dealing with your situation and 2 others that were urgent, including a service dog for someone that's flying on Tuesday. And yeah, some other stuff. So yeah, should we submit the forms on my case or we wait until they ask? I have no idea what you're talking about. If you receive a communication from a reliable email address you've been in contact with before from RSC, and it's telling you to go onto their portal and upload documents, well, if that's their portal and that's their email, then why would you not do it? I don't know the context. I'm trying to answer a question without context. Are more airlines have answered that question? If it's a refugee program, if you can make ends meet in South Africa, don't go to the U.S. to meet a burden of state. Yep. You are branding an all-American America. Thank you, Yaku. Okay. If you don't follow your case, officer, you forfeit refugee status. No. 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 What are you talking about? You don't forfeit your refugee status if you don't like your case, officer. What are you trying to say? The way that's written is untrue. Maybe you meant something else. Have a Morza Brai without oaks. Well, there'll be some oaks there. I'm not wearing a lariat. I'm not wearing, why would I have a lariat on right now? Neff says we did our USCIS interview on Monday and now just waiting for the letter. I'm feeling very, very restless till I get, well, it may be some time. Just stop being restless. You're going to make yourself anxious for no reason. Colonel, I did a supply sufficient info in the email sent to you at 1:30. All right. I don't know, Snow. You just sent me an email at 1:30. I just said that was what, Friday? Yesterday I said I unplugged. I needed a break. I didn't check an email yesterday. No idea. I haven't looked at email since Friday. Probably hadn't seen yours at the time. Now let me look again. Okay, why is it not showing me any search? There we go. Search. No, it's 27 January. Oh, there you go. There you go. Got it yet. So I hadn't read your message yet. Oh, I'm confused. I thought I responded to this. I thought I responded to that. Someone else must have had the same situation. Yeah, it's time to start getting concerned within 30 days. Yep. 2 weeks out is when you really need to be concerned. If you haven't gotten a flight within 2 weeks of your expiration, then it's time to be concerned. Within 2 weeks, there's still time to get your flight out. But after you get to 2 weeks, so it's time to be a little bit nervous for you, Snow, but not panic yet. Okay. Missed watching you back online and kicking and keep up the warm weather. Well, yeah, I know. I saw you online. You gave $5 to Ronaldo. What's that all about? No, I'm just kidding. Debbie Booth, I don't see the Colonel's Larry. Okay. All right. What else did I miss up here? A lot of trolls in your chats attacking people to leave the program, so there's open space for people without any means. Please, they should know this is not a charity case. I don't know what you're getting at, Trump Americana. Good evening, Sean Patrick. Okay, from Potchefstroom. What's going on? Okay, what else I missed? I missed Madeline's super chat, 35 Rand. Thank you for that, Madeline. Clouds are gathering. I'm going back, catching up now. Vimpy said, wish you could meet. Well, you're a bit kind of far off to go to that, Vimpy. If your FG officer forced you to sign a 12-month rental and you have a valid reason to not want to sign, will you lose benefits? No. They can't make you lose benefits. Those aren't their benefits to give you. First off, let's be clear. You're talking about benefits or entitlements. You're entitled to things by law. And until recently, that was food stamps, among other things, refugee cash assistance. That's a law. They don't have any say on that. You don't lose that because you won't take a hovel to live in. As far as benefits, if they have to provide services to you unless you opt out. If you opt out, then they don't have to provide services to you. That's what you mean. This term benefits is bullshit. Stop using benefits. There's no such thing as a benefit. This isn't a beneficiary program. This is an entitlement and services. All right? Entitlement and services. That's the right terms I need to use. You guys get me confused with that stuff now. Entitlements and services. Yep. So no, they can't kick you out. They can't kick you out. That's not true. No, Joe, Texas, I did not see PayPal. Let me look at that now. I don't just go there all the time because, look, again, despite the lies about, oh, he's making money off your refugees, that's not why I do this. And I don't even for my news program, I don't spend a lot of time checking that because I just don't. Well, let me check and see. I'm waiting for a code to be sent from PayPal. There it is. Okay, the number is 9527. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't help you anyway. Okay. Okay, let me see if I'm in. I'm all set, according to PayPal. Get me in there. All right. Hey, and that was a nice one, too. Thank you for that, Joe. I thought it was going to be like $2. I was going to come on, dude. No, thank you very much. I did receive it. You sent it on... When did you send it? Let's see. It says you sent it on today. Thank you so much. Well, I definitely hadn't seen it today. I haven't logged into PayPal at all for several days, probably a week or so. Final court disposition letter so we can be approved. Okay, good luck with that. Exactly, Rooster, you're right. People who never involved in the program, never followed it, just find the channel, have questions. And that's why I answer the questions. That's why we do this session. If people are frustrated by the questions that come up over and over again, you think you're frustrated? Try sitting in my shoes. Yeah. And then Luva gave the 140 round. That one I did see. So I've caught up on all the super chats unless one just happened. Apocalypse Ninja said, okay, I got that one. No more. Okay, I don't think I missed any more. How long after TB treatment can you start seeing negative test results? Oh, you're asking me. I'm not a medical professional. TB, it depends on what is it, multi-drug resistant tuberculosis? Is it extreme drug resistant tuberculosis? What strain is it? What medication are you on? I couldn't possibly tell you that. There might be a general answer, but it's not going to be immediately. That's going to take time. So how long after TB treatment is it safe to travel internationally? Now let's see if maybe there's an international standard for this. Okay, it's generally safe to travel internationally after 2 to 3 weeks of effective TB treatment. That's much quicker than I thought. Much quicker than I thought, but I don't know what the policy for the U.S. is. I couldn't possibly answer that question. Again, you've got multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. You've got extreme drug resistant tuberculosis. There's different variants of this nasty, nasty illness. Yeah, I'm sorry if anybody has tuberculosis. What a horrible thing to have. I'm shocked that I never tested positive for exposure to it. I mean, I've been every crap hole in the world. Whoa. Did you hear that? Sounded like an earthquake. That was snow falling off my roof. Have my roof been covered by snow all this time? I'll bet you I've had no damn... for days, I probably had no solar power. Let me look at this. Wow. Yeah, I've got nothing today. 90 this month. It's oh, that can't be right. That's got to be January. Let me see. Look at January. Oh yeah, January. I've had from the snowstorm from the 28th, 26th, or 25 to the 31st. I had no solar power. None. I got nothing. So my roof has been covered by snow all this time. It just slid off this end of the house. It sounded like an earthquake. My goodness. Wow. So, wow. I have 90 watts today. Okay. Whoa, it's jumping now. I had 90 watts all day long. It's 2:25 in the afternoon. And suddenly, but those panels just clearing, I just went from 90 watts to 1 kilowatt, now to 1.04. Oh, it's climbing. I got to watch it climb, guys. This is wild. Check it out. So it's climbing. I mean, this was just 0.9 a moment ago. And now it's 1.04 just because those panels are already collecting solar power. Look at that. Wow. But that's not even the whole roof. I bet part of the roof still got snow on it. But for a week, I had no solar panels. Oh, get solar. It's fantastic. Not if you live in a snow belt. That's funny. Oh, it's not funny. Now it's 1.05. Woo, it's piling on now. I voted once again no. Voted what once again? No. I was sharing our near-death experience with you on 2 emails ago. We got ambushed on the road from Cape to Edinburgh. We got thrown with a rock. I don't recall that conversation, Valdevant. Thank you for the Valdo Thundervault. Thank you for that. Yeah, there you go. Wingo says, yes, you can do it. Yeah, it had both interviews while waiting for a passport. Not sure what that was in response to. Okay. 3 to 4 weeks for testing and then 4 weeks for treatment. Yeah, but then 2 to 3 weeks after you've been treated is what the question was. That was the question. Caseworker told us we can go through the program, and as soon as we have our passport, we just send our info to... What, did somebody ask if you don't have a passport? Yeah, you don't have to have a passport to put an intake questionnaire in. You just give them the information when it gets updated. What's with this? Oh, what's going on here? Now it's giving me fake readings. Now it's back down to 0.82. What the hell? Anyway, now I can't even trust the data. What is Twin Falls, Idaho like? You have a job offer 80,000 K? Yeah, that's good for that area. By yourself, that's fantastic. 80,000, that's really good. You do realize, Toothless Wonder, that $80,000 is higher GDP than the average person makes. That's a higher GDP than anyone in Europe makes. Anyone, including Switzerland. No one, it's average. Let me see, highest per capita incomes. Let's see. HIGHES, highest per in the world. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so you're going to have like these oil sultanates that have a lot. Okay. Well, Monaco has 250 to 270,000. Liechtenstein 200,000. Singapore 132 to 156. Luxembourg 128 to 152. Let me see. That depends on who you go by. This is a different list. So Monaco, 288,000. United States is 85,000 according to this, but that's not correct. That's got to be purchasing power parity. But Switzerland is ahead of us, sorry, with 111,000. And Ireland too, yeah. But most countries in the world are far below this. South Africa, it's like 4,000 or 5,000. 5,500 last time I checked. Let me see if South Africa's on here. Botswana is $7,000. South Africa is $6,667. So that's 12 times your salary there. Yes, I know you have to keep it, consistent with, what the cost of living is, but the cost of living is not 12 times as much in the United States as it is in South Africa, trust me. Yeah, $80,000 in Twin Falls. Yeah, that's an incredible offer. That's incredible. I don't make $80,000 a year. I didn't make $80,000 a year for most of my life. Yeah. That's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations. Yeah, Twin Falls is really good for that. Now my chat's all messed up over here. How many? 373 votes. Okay. The good thing about HK Refugees is they have input from exposing corrupt. Yeah. Had our interview and waiting 3 weeks. See? Don't waste your money on international driver's license. Okay, I missed that question. No, you don't need an international driver's license. It's not valid anyway. It's only valid as long as your South African license is valid. And you won't be able to drive on it once that's expired. And if it's already expired, you can't get one. It's even valid because you have to show both of them. You can drive on your South African driver's license when you arrive here for a period of time in whatever state you're in. We've covered this many, many times. Every state's different. Some states it's 30 days once you become a resident. Some states it's 60 days, even if you are 90 days. So you simply have to comply with state law. Just go get yourself a driver's license. Some states will convert your driver's license without a test, without a driving test. Some will require that you take a written test and or a driving test. So, anyway, I would not lose sleep over it. On December 4th, saying they tried to phone my husband with regards to parental consent, but no contact phone calls. You can email them all you want, Disket Knowles, but they're probably not going to respond to you. So I don't know what to tell you on that, other than you have to wait. Is there anything I can do about what, Snow? Let me go back to your email. No, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. You're going to send them an email? That's all you've got is an email, and they're not going to answer it. So if they were smart, they would have a list of people in the status. These are people who are approved, and this is when their medicals expire, because that's the only thing that expires. Your background investigation doesn't expire. It can be updated, but it doesn't expire. Your application doesn't expire. So the only thing that expires is your medical. So, all right, this person was approved on this date in November, and their medicals expire in February. Okay, that means we got to get them out of here before February. But that would take competent people, and I can't confirm that the people doing this are competent. Certainly not based on some of the outcomes. So, yeah, but there's nothing you can do. Yeah, and I hope you get yours. I really do. Hey, FitNut Innovations. For people who keep asking, I filled out my intake question for my dad, and he was contacted for me, and I'm not salty. I'm happy for him. So there you go, Jacques Robro. Exactly. How long after you start seeing negative test results? 3 weeks, Lucy, based on what we found there. Can a person apply while waiting for passport? Absolutely. What are you waiting for? You need an passport expiration date. Then you just simply put, if it won't let you continue, you put your ID identification expiration date. We had a 10 of USCIS interview for Attentive? You had a scheduled one. Is that what you're talking about? Your boots are nice. Come and live in Oxford. We have just been given 100 vouchers to visit other parts of the city by car. Socialist Republic. Exactly. Yeah, but I'm sure the officials have all the access they want. Can't wait for Monday. Did MIN Friday, and they told me within 3 days it will be done and sent to CWS. So Monday is the countdown for me. Yep. December 15th, it's set an appointment for video chat. January 15th, no call, came no word. What do, wait some more? Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, they failed to get the job done. And you can write to them. In your case, I would write them because you have no timelines on anything. You haven't even done medical, so I would send them an email. That's all you can do. I usually don't recommend emails, but that'd be a case where I recommend it. As for confirmation, my call name changed. What? Oh, I don't know what Frijoshka's saying. Yes, it may say specifically state passport expiration. If you don't have one, put in your ID. Ian's an OG refugee. Yeah, you probably are. Okay, what else we got here? I'm catching up now. Daughter filled in with her IDs and have been contacted. Yeah, exactly. Your daughter filled in with her ID information, and then you update with the passport when you get it. You just correct it. You just correct the record, that's all. Oh, there it is. Toothless Wonder. Yeah, $80,000. Seen properties there for $2,000 rent and about $4,000. That's not unusual. $2,000 rent's a little high in my view, but I mean I'm not in the market to Twin Falls. I know what rent around here is. Rent around here is about $1,400 to $1,800 for a 3-bedroom. That's a big place. Yeah. So, yep. $400,000 for a house. I think that's expensive, but that's what houses go for now. I mean, the house I bought is 50% cheaper than the ones built here 6 years later. Just 300 meters away, and they're smaller than my house. Tech Adibir, thank you. I love watching him. Okay, good luck. Thank you. Iceman says it's your prerogative. I wouldn't enter information incorrectly. Well, then you can wait till the cows come home, like Charles von Olsen still doesn't have a passport, waiting months. Or was it his birth certificate, whatever it was. Everything you say, Colonel, absorb information in my head. I don't want to forget. Well, okay, Ruben. Push yes instead. Push no instead of yes. Whatever. Okay. Cornelius, thank you for the 35 Rand, making it rain. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Okay, what else we got? Should be concerned if my case number that I got after doing most of the steps is different than one my case. No, don't panic on it. That's happened, unfortunately, a lot of times. Either because people submitted 2 cases or because they make mistakes. We've even had cases where someone has had a person listed on their case is not even their family member, and they don't even know who they are. It does happen occasionally. They glitch things, so don't lose any sleep. You start second guessing when you're filling in the intake questionnaire. Have you received my mail? I know you took a few days to stress. No, I took a few hours. I haven't taken a few days in a couple of years. Honest, I don't know. Hang on. Oh yeah, it was just a few days now. Yeah. Oh, I can't do this now. You've got all kinds of issues there, Hannes. I don't understand how you get those issues, but you got all kinds of issues. No wonder yours is taking a while. I'm going to have to try to devote some time to that, Hannes. Thank you for reminding me. The question says, my sporting weekend has been bad. It's going to get worse with Wales. You can keep your cold weather up there. Still thumbs up to the stream. Okay, Drunken Yoda. Are you still in Atlanta area? How long is medicals? 3 months. No, medicals are 1 day. What are you talking about 3 months? 10 best states for refugees placing. There's no such thing, Sarl. Depends what's your lifestyle, what you want. To me, Wyoming or Idaho would be one of the best places to be stationed, but a lot of people freeze their ass off there. They wouldn't be there. And they don't like being isolated. The validity of medical examination is 6 months, but the tests and the stuff you do is only a short time. Besides, when you go for medicals, if you get immunizations, they don't expire in 6 months. You're just going to have to get recertified. So there's lots of stuff. No persecution was discussed or questions asked regarding this. The officer was in a rush and was even told by a fellow officer to finish up. No. Michelle, why would you be worried? Obviously, they have what they need. And when did this occur? In July? Then you got a problem. If it just happened recently, then no. Holden is obsessed with the START Treaty. Pulled over in Virginia by the police in a Maryland licensed car, and the police were not friendly when I showed them my UK driver's license. I don't know. How can you be pulled over in Virginia by a Maryland officer? That's illegal. They have no authority in Virginia. That doesn't make any sense, Fleshin. What were you drinking? How were your fingerprints taken before you were contacted? That's nonsense. Who's taking your fingerprints? Who told you to get fingerprints? Where did they tell you to go? Doesn't make any sense. To find out more about my daughter turning 21, we answered that question. Monster Max, we answered that question on that stream. Thank you for the 100 Rand. I haven't found anything new about it. It's the anecdotal what people said. There were cases of both ways. Cases where they were included because they were already submitted before the 21st birthday. And then there was a case where someone had to go and submit a case, even though that was the one. So I don't know there's a standard answer for your question, but I've got no new information since then. If I receive my license Idaho, do I need to redo a test? No, you don't. They normally convert it. So I had an Ohio driver's license. I lived in Pennsylvania, but I didn't technically live here because I was active duty, which exempts me from changing my driver's license or my vehicle registration or my state of taxation. So Pennsylvania didn't tax my income when I lived here and worked at the War College because I was in the active Army, and my driver's license was from Ohio. When I retired in October 2019, I began paying taxes in October 2019 to Pennsylvania. And I, within 30 days, went to schedule an appointment online and went and converted my driver's license without taking a test of any sort. All I did was get an eye test, I think. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's like that, to give you an eye test there. And that was all done within 20 minutes. All done. Drove, got a brand new license, just like that. Piece of cake. I've already renewed it once, and I got to renew it again because it only lasts for 4 years. Your first contact was to do fingerprints. And I presume, Brewster, you've gone through the program or you're at some point. Yep, that is an interesting question, Trumpet Connor. What, are you using my answers to fill WhatsApp groups? Everyone in my group is left. I ran into DEI hires, as you know. Yep. Why don't they use Americans for caseworkers? You talking about refugee assistance, case officers? Is that what you're talking about, Sue? Why? Because the people who do it aren't government employees. It's a private contract. It's a contract awarded to a nonprofit normally, and the nonprofit provides services. They can hire whoever they want who's allowed to work in America. A lot of them think that it makes sense to hire refugees, particularly refugees who are tied to groups coming in large numbers. They're not hiring any South Africans yet, but you go look, anyone can apply for these jobs. Yep. So that's why they don't hire Americans. Most Americans have no desire to be involved in this. If you do your job properly, it's very draining. A lot of them don't do it properly. God bless, this chat jumps on me. Again, stop putting your same comments in the chat repeatedly because it messes up when I have to go back and look where things are at. There we go. If you have a tentative booking, it's tentative. Exactly. Exactly. They should confirm ahead of time. Beyond the Mainstream says, thank you for what you do. What is the average cost of living? There's no such thing as average cost of living. They can give you an average, but that doesn't mean anything. You can live below a cost of living very easily by not being extravagant. A lot of people live ridiculously extravagant lives. So How bad is the shutdown going to be? Well, there is no shutdown, Rikus. There's no shutdown. The Senate approved a bill to extend the entire government through the year, except for Homeland Security, which they extend for 2 weeks so they can try to extract things from the Trump administration. The government doesn't work on the weekend except for air traffic control, customs, immigration, the military, law enforcement. Those people work. IRS isn't at work. Health and Human Services aren't at work. Department of Energy is not at work. They don't work on the weekend. And Homeland Security, who work in the headquarters, aren't at work either. Just agents out in the field. So they will still work anyway because they're law enforcement. So there is a partial shutdown, which is through the next time the House meets. The House had gone and home for the evening when the Senate approved this bill on Friday night. They marked it up and made some changes. So the House has to approve the changes because the bills have to match exactly. So the House submitted the bill. The Senate agreed to it with some changes. Now it goes back to the House. But because the House had gone home because they're a bunch of wusses on Friday night and cared less about governing this country and more about their fat paychecks and their self-aggrandizement, they went home on Friday night. They'll be in session tomorrow. When they're in session tomorrow, this will hit the floor immediately. And when it hits the floor, it'll be voted on. If it's passed, then it goes to the president. He'll sign it sometime mid-morning. Simple as that. So I wouldn't worry about a shutdown at the moment. Found a small nodule in a lung smaller than 5 millimeters, probably benign Thursday back, extra 8 weeks. This was done last week. He just didn't want to see future persecution proof. Okay. Well, you don't have to have past and future. Past is indicative there can be future. So you don't have to have both. Data USA. Yeah, but average doesn't mean anything. Let me see what the average rent is here. Okay. Average rental price is $1,461 in Camp Hill. Okay. And here, average rental price between $950 and $1,300. So look, I mean, average. What does it matter? What does it matter? Unless you're in this place, unless you're there, what does it matter? Honestly, why does this matter? Unless you're in some place looking for a place, what does it matter? Are you destination shopping or are you refugees? Yeah, exactly. No point mailing me, just clogs up the system. Even though I said that person, that's the only option they have. Changed my names in 25, still same, just added missing ones. Just asked for proof of approval letter from registered commissar. Okay, all right, maybe that's an unusual circumstance. That's why they put that tab up. We got a call early December and was said we will receive a second call mid-January and no call. Okay, I already answered that question. So you posted a second time. Ruben says, I put a 6-month window to be ready for my papers and passports. Did not realize it'd be finished before the 6-month period, so I'm expecting a call in June. No, you can get a call tomorrow. You get a call in March. That has no impact on it. I've been approved since December 2nd. Was told last week to prepare for departure, so I'm waiting for flight details. There's an email here. The mods can put in, Justin. Thank you for everything you do for plighted minorities and for being a voice for voiceless. You're very welcome, Chris Opperman. In our first contact, Sally says we did fingerprints. Yep, then they got a call. Okay. Holden, you're just trolling. I mean, it's harmless, but stop. Okay. On a high-speed chase, Maryland can get permission to cross in the VA. No. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so. Why are you running away from the police? I feel with our case, if we had enough money together, we would have been gone already. They're pushing our case. That's holding us back as finances. What? No. What are you talking about, Marissa? It doesn't cost anything for the program. What are you talking about? Dirt poor South Africans have come to America who can't scratch $2,000 together. What are you talking about? If you had enough money. That has no bearing on your case whatsoever. I don't understand what you're getting at. Yep, and then Road Captain Cass, a lot of people said do biometrics before you got the call. Yep. So a lot of people are saying that now, yep. How do you get those? Well, you're the South African. You're going to have to get them from the court that where the judgment was. I'm sorry they're asking for it, but obviously they need to know it for some reason. You see, this is what belies all these lies. Oh, these people aren't really vetted. No, they're not real refugees. No one checks in their background. All the lies from American leftists and from South African media. And look at this crap you're going through. A 20-year-old court case that probably has no bearing whatsoever on your suitability to be a refugee, and they're demanding that from you. Yep. Oh my gosh. You're right, Ruben. It has been asked a million times. And why would you think that? Democrats win election, what happened to the refugee program? Not a damn thing. What election? In November? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing would happen. Are the Democrats going to have enough votes to change immigration nationality law? No. Were they going to get 2/3 in both houses to override anything the president puts? No, they won't. There's nothing. What election? November? Nothing will happen. 2 years from now? Nothing will happen. 3 years from now? Another presidential election? Doesn't matter who wins. Gosh, you guys really don't know much about America. Andres just sent me an email. Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. Yaku says, yeah, you get to America to achieve freedom and safety. Yep. What happens if my passport expires while in the U.S. under the program? Well, before your passport expires, Gideon, then you need to contact the South African government at your embassy or consular services and then get yourself a new passport. They issue passports. Just like an American living in South Africa, your passport's going to expire. I lived in Africa when my passport's expired, and I got them renewed through consular services. Simple as that. I'm catching up now. Vika's happy place with our placement. We depart very soon. Yeah, well, you're not here yet, Vika. Wait till you see what it looks like when you get here. How was your day, 15 February? We're willing to do an interview with you, going to post your custom printed shirts and jacket tomorrow. 15 February. I don't know. I guess it's okay. Sounds good. Send me a WhatsApp so I can put it on my calendar. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Oh. Okay, Marissa, then, so you didn't tell the whole story. So what do you mean your case is being held up? Your case is being held up because you need passports and you need travel money. Well, you don't pay for fingerprints. So I don't understand that. Marissa, your articles, your story is making no sense whatsoever. You don't need a passport to apply. Just put down your national ID expiration date. But you're going to have to get a passport. You need travel money, presumably, to go to the interviews, which, if you haven't got them scheduled, you don't even know where they're at. So how would you know how much money you need? I'm not following what you're saying. And you don't pay for fingerprints, so why do you need money for that? I don't understand what you're getting at, Marissa. At all. At all. I mean, we have people who in the past year have had people sponsor and pay for their passports for others. Chris Ayler's paid for people's passports. Yep. Van Blurk is on track. Apply for my mom and myself from one link. She has contact, but not me. Well, how do you apply for your mom unless you're a minor? It doesn't make any sense. You can't apply for your mother. She has to apply for herself unless she's mentally diminished and you have legal guardianship over her. You can't apply for your mom. What are you talking about? That won't be legitimate. She has to apply on her own case. First off, you can't apply for your mother ever unless you have legal custody of your mother from diminished capacity or something like that. Yes, USCIS interviews happen in person. Of course, Miss Congeniality. How else would they happen? Lots of from September have medical expire next month. Yeah, well, I'm with you, Just Chill. There's a lot of people who are hoping to get out. Holden, I warned you about trolling. I've never given you a timeout, but you're pushing the limit. There's a lot of people who think this program is a charity and USA is going to look after them. If you're not willing to work your ass off and pay taxes and rather stay where you are going. Exactly. Fortunately, people going to America, yet they don't understand American law or politics. They just can't understand what the technology will take. Yeah, I don't understand why people can't use common sense either, Alan. It's very easy to look these things up. I said it twice. Okay, well, I don't recall what I said twice, Leiden. Okay. But someone did post something twice. I just saw it for a third time. This person posted the exact same thing. Do I have regular meet and greets? Well, whenever I go to South Africa, I have meet and greets. My last trip in 30 days, I had 18 meet and greets. Previous one, I had 17. One before that was 15, and one before that was 17. And I've done meet and greets in the UK. Done meet and greets in Rochester in the States now. I'm doing one in Texas. Yeah, so I do lots of meet and greets. But I'm not sure what your question is. You mean in America? I don't know. We'll see. I just asked people in Las Vegas if there's enough people out there for me to make a trip to Vegas. But I mean, this stuff isn't free. I mean, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not Bill Gates. I'm not freaking Elon Musk. It takes money to do this stuff. So a lot easier for me to hold 4 meet and greets in the Cape Town area and have all different people attend. I mean, the perfect proof of the matter is I've done meet and greets in Strand. I've done meet and greets in Somerset West. I've done meet and greets in Bloberg Strand. I've done meet and greets in Woodbridge Island. All of those are within short driving distance of each other, within an hour, worst case of each other, or less. And lots of different people came to all of them, different ones. But within an hour of here, there's nobody within an hour of me. There will be 50 families coming here, but yeah. So yeah. You can apply as a family unit in the same link, but still get processed separately. Okay, Jeannie. All right. Thank you for correcting me. That's different than the way it normally goes. Yes, the counselors are immune to local driving. So, yeah. But so am I, as my daughter's a firefighter and registered my car as one of the vehicles. Well, there you go, Fleshin. Then you can take me downtown. We're not near the center, so we need to get something done local and something done in Joburg. Also, we did receive a place to go do our fingerprints. Oh, okay. You meant you have to travel to do the fingerprints. You don't have money for the travel. Okay. All right, Marissa. All right. Well, you need to send me an email, Marissa, and tell me what's going on with your situation, okay? But what? So have you not applied, or have you not shown up when they told you to do something? See, that's a further complication you're not explaining. So the impression I'm getting is that your case is being held up because you don't have money. But is that because you haven't fulfilled what they told you to do because you didn't have money to go do it, or have you not even applied? I'm a little confused. Send me an email. Daughter didn't take, linked her case. Okay, gotcha. I stand corrected. I think a lot of people are helping parents who are not computer literate. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine to help people. But I was partially correct there in that they have to do their own. But she's saying that you can link the cases when you do it online. That's fine. But the parents have to have a separate case. They're adults. You can't, except for your spouse, you can't apply. You can't, another person is not part of it. You can link cases, but they're not part of your family unit. Well, it is a very fair deal. No other people in the world do get this kind of help. No, Yaku, I didn't see your question about the final count. No, I've said it over and over again. How can I possibly have it? I told you it comes out the 4th or 5th is the time frame. Yep, so on the 4th or 5th we'll have an idea, and I expect to see a huge number of people having come over in January. I stealth with some of the most friendly, efficient court manager who sent the letter we needed. So awesome. You stealth. Well, congrats, Helena. I'm glad you got it figured out. If you get to go as a refugee, you should be grateful and do your best to make... Yeah, exactly. One thing that is for sure is that this channel does calm one down. Just breathe and watch the chat again in case there's something you missed. Okay, Kathy, fair point. Pikachu. Yeah, the mods are deleting your questions if you repeat them over and over again. All right, I think 536 votes is representative sample. So many of you consider me a fair and objective advocate for the program. Well, I appreciate that. And I guess in the case of helping refugees sort things out, if it's a fair statement, because I've helped a lot of people, and I guess in respect, I'm an advocate for them. But I wouldn't say I'm an advocate for the program as such. I'm agnostic as far as the program is. But that's why I asked the question. So that's fair. Thank you for that. December, still waiting for approval letter. Well, Cinderella Dreams, you went to UCF, there's a lot to be done. You talked to them, you told them things, that has to be investigated. And again, when did you go in December? They weren't doing anything from the 16th to the end, so those 15 days don't count. They weren't working the first 5 days of January. That's 21 days that don't count. 21 days. So you've basically been waiting, what, since the 7th of December to the 6th of January, 6 and 20, you've been waiting about a month. How did the FEMA tents do it? They collapsed. They collapsed. It's a mess. I mean, I've got half erected tents out in the yard. It's just a disaster here. And I got people's dogs coming along and pissing on the tents. It's out of control. Really need to do something about these people. It's really out of control. What's going on? This sensor's not working on this stupid thing. That isn't right. Anyway. Yep. Approval of 30 days after medical, okay? Liesel, 40 Rand. Thank you for that, Liesel. Jij kom ons wacht, yo. Okay? Interview 5th December and medicals on the 9th. Wow, that's pretty quick, Cinderella. Wow. Yeah, they are dodgy FEMA tents. They are. Snow Happy says, hope to meet you soon, Colonel. Well, that'd be nice. I like meeting people. Saw a post on a refugee page saying they're expecting... Yeah, because they're all stealing what I've said. So they don't give any attribution for that. I'm the one that said that it could be $4,000 per month, and I questioned it too. I had independent sources who told me that it will be $2,000, then $3,000. It's going to be $4,000, or $1,000, $2,000, then $4,000. And I questioned whether that's possible, given the circumstances and the cap. And I said it is possible, but I said, I question it. So I'm the one that reported that. No one else reported that publicly. And now everybody's stealing that information and posting stuff as if they know what they're talking about. Who are their sources? I have sources. They don't. I'm their source, and they fail to mention me. Yes, Marissa, yellow snow is disgusting. There's like 4 or 5 spots out there. There's people pissing their dogs. I'd poison their dogs, but that's a crime. Hey, Eugene, what's going on? Oh, I didn't say it's impossible, Charles. I didn't say that. But let's just do the math, okay? Let's do the math real quick. 1,055. Now, not all of them come over, so we have to take off a couple hundred. But let's say 700 came over in the fiscal year starting October. So 700 count against the 7,000. That leaves 6,300, okay? In January, it's somewhere between 1,800 and 2,500, let's say, okay? So add 1,800 to the 700. That gives you 2,500, okay? That means if the cap is real, if it isn't exceeded, you have all 4,500 left. If 4,000 come over in March alone, then there'll be 500 the rest of the year. Not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that either the cap is going to be adjusted or something else is going to be adjusted. That's all I'm saying. Well, Dave, I've done videos on that a year ago, but I can briefly do it for you again. Nobody watches my videos. They just come here and ask the same questions over and over again rather than watch my videos. Anyone that's here that's gone over with, what do you mean by that, Deland Jordan? What do you mean by that? What is your question? What is your question? You want to talk to people that have come to the U.S. as refugees? Well, that's what the chat's for. But I'll run through the vetting process for you, Dave. Hank, because it fell on his tent. Yeah, I thought that was your tent outside my studio right here, Hank. Your typing is cow. Cock? Elena? Exactly, Neff. That's what I said. I already did the math. It's 133 per day. We're already sending 120 per day. So it's theoretically feasible. It's a question of what they're going to do. Do you know what will be the implications if we have a sponsor to come to? I don't know what you mean by that, Rikus. Do you mean that a relative or family friend has sponsored your arrival? The implications will be that they'll try to fob off that responsibility on those people. That's the implications. Yep. All right. So, yeah. Well, that's they're going to try to fob that responsibility off the family. These refugee agencies, some of them are lazy, and they just want to make money, and so that's bottom line with that. Sorry. Anyway. All right. So the question about the vetting. So it was about vetting. Where was that at here? Briefly run through what's involved in vetting. Sure. criminal background checks, fingerprint checks, databases, not in South Africa, but they could be in South Africa, but it's most likely our own databases. Your social media is vetted now. That wasn't the case in the past, but that has been changed, as we found out social media is an indicator of people. Your financial background is checked, your criminal records, any convictions, marriages are checked, see if you're a bigamist, all kinds of things are. So Jacob Zuma couldn't come over because he's a bigamist. But yeah, lots of things are checked in the criminal background. So there are paper requests that go out to agencies to answer questions. It comes back to your case, to your investigator. They go through it. They write up an investigative report. Interviews are done with you. Questions might arise as a consequence of that interview. They have to investigate new avenues, something you disclosed. If they come across some data, they may have to come back to you and say, hey, I need you to explain this. We need documents, explain what happened here. So all of that comes into play. Absolutely. And yeah. So for me, with my security clearance, they look to see if you bounce checks. They look to see if you've failed to pay bills. They look at your credit rating in America. That won't affect refugees, but it affects Americans for security. If I have a low credit rating, it could keep me from getting clearance because it makes me vulnerable to blackmail or bribes. I would never be vulnerable to one, but the point is an individual. Credit checks, criminal background checks, fingerprint checks. They interview people as well. They also do that for refugees. They interview people. If it's appropriate, they'll interview. Here in America, you have to list 3 people that know you for 10 years. It's kind of hard to do when you're 18, when you're going for one of these clearances, but you have to list 10 people who know you for 10 years. You list those people, and then they go and talk to those people or talk to people those people know about you, ask questions. And people that have axes to grind, will grind them. Oh, that guy, Chris, man, he's a jerk, man. He used to piss in my front lawn all the time. No, it wasn't me, it was my dog. So all that information gets gathered up. They look at it. They do a whole person concept. All right. So, for instance, you're 42, and at 15, you were arrested for drinking underage. Okay. Have you been arrested since then? Nope. All right. Do you drink? No. Or you drink responsibly. Okay. Youthful indiscretion. At 17, you were caught on campus smoking weed. You were arrested, charged, and convicted. Paid a fine. Did community service. 17. 18 or 19. Youthful indiscretion. You were arrested at 15 for smoking pot. You were arrested at 18 for selling pot. You were arrested at 19 for smoking pot. You were arrested at 21 for doing cocaine. Ooh, this is not youthful indiscretion. This is a pattern of behavior. A person who is not desirable. A person who likes to deal and use illicit narcotics. Therefore, you are going to get a lot more scrutiny. If you were convicted of treason in South Africa, even if it was unwarranted, you're going to get a lot of scrutiny. They're going to look to see, was it legitimate? Or were you railroaded by a racist state? So that is how the vetting goes. Does that answer your question? I hope that answers your question. No, why would you lose refugee status? Gosh, that is a strange question, Rian. What does your family have to do with your refugee status? I mean, guys, this is why, we got to get back to this. Either you as a refugee, an individual, or you as a married person with a spouse and or minor children, that's it. Other people don't matter. Doesn't matter if you have family, if Elon Musk is your cousin and you're in South Africa and you're an Afrikaner or a racial minority, you've suffered past racial persecution or you have legitimate fears of future persecution and you live in South Africa, you don't have criminal background, you can come over. Even though your cousin is the richest man on the planet. Nothing to do with you. You don't lose your refugee status. No. That's a crazy question, Rian. Do flights leave 7 days a week? Well, Flight Aware is a good place to go and see what flights leave from South Africa. United Delta fly to South Africa every day of the week. They're not the only airlines. Yes, the answer is yes. Good night, Helena. So a book I would love to buy you. It's an Afrikaans book. Oh, that'd be interesting, Marissa. Thank you. But don't buy me a book. You don't have money to get your passports right now. Thank you for the thought, though. May I please ask for the WhatsApp group link? My other phone broke while I was on the group, sadly. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, see, that's the problem with people posting shit they don't know what they're talking about. Yes, you do have to pay back your flight costs. It's not a gift. It's not free. But it's very generous. The International Organization of Migration funds the refugee travel. You get an interest-free loan, and the standard is you begin paying it back after 6 months. One of the refugees wrote to me, a family of 4, and how much they owe. They have a $130 a month payment starting 6 months after they arrive. Now, if you don't have a job or you don't have sufficient resource to pay that back, you can ask for it to be rescheduled for later. It's interest-free. It's a gift in that respect. Yes, you have to pay the flight back over here, but accommodation, no, you don't pay back the accommodation. That comes out of the money that the government allocates for your arrival. So you don't pay anything back. That's taken before you even get it. Does that answer your question? If one of the mods could give one of the, or both of the WhatsApp groups, yeah, let me do that now. So since we got about 570 people here, hang on a second here. US, there we go. Okay, got 4 requests to join. Let me see if we got any space. Nope, only had room for 1. So the original group is no good. There's no room. 211 requests to join a second group. I'm definitely not going to get through 211 here. I got 2. That's it. So 3 people got added. So the group isn't really going to help you because there's 200 people ahead of you. And, well, there's 4 for the other one, so that's not so bad. I can give you a link to the other one. So, okay, well, let me see. Okay, here's the link to join, but you're not going to be able to join because it's full. The groups were full, then they emptied out a little bit for a little bit. Now they're full again as more people discover the program. So, yeah, there you go. So no, David Potgieter, that's incorrect information. No, I don't have any cowboy boots, Pikachu. And this hat has a story. For the OGs in the channel, they know the story of this hat. This is because the weather guru in South Africa, the weather guru wanted a cowboy hat, and he asked me to buy one for him. They're not cheap. This one was like $170, I think. Something like that. The other ones, the leather ones, are freaking $500-600 for a hat. I'm paying $600 for a hat. That's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, so he asked for one, and then I bought it, and then I wore it as I went to South Africa in 2022. Everywhere I went, I stopped, made a short video and said, hey, the Weather Guru's hat's on its way. It's on its way. It's on its way. And then I gave it to him at OR Tambo at the Met Court when we had our meet and greet, where Amy Justine LaRue was at, and Lars Salas was there. Where the hell's Lars Salas? Anybody know what happened to Lars Salas? And Koketsa Ratsani was there. A whole bunch of people were there. Debbie was there. And then this hat I gave over to the Weather Guru. And then people loved it so much, I came back here and I went and they had one. I bought one for myself. So I've had this since 2022. Meanwhile, his was stolen. South African. Hey, Ronell, what's going on? No, Sal, you don't pay it back as soon as you start working. You pay it back after 6 months. And a hotel bill is not rent. Sure, you're the best advocate. Please, I have a question. There's any hope for those refugees who are in refugee camps and they're already finished? Everything was... Huh? What's the question? You made a statement. You said is there any hope for them? Well, not at the moment, not until Trump decides to let more people in the country. And Rooster, no. You guys are spreading incorrect information. Apparently a plane ticket at $75 a month. No, it's not $75 a month. Everybody's flights cost different amounts. A family of 6 going to California is going to cost a freaking fortune. I do have a family that their average ticket was less than $1,000 to fly to Georgia because they flew to Atlanta and then they were driven from there. So, you can't say it's going to be $75 a month. No, it's going to be prorated based on the cost of the tickets over a period of time. Simple as that. And it starts 6 months after you arrive. There's no average price of flight ticket. Pats, just go look. Why do you care? Pats, why do you care? What does it matter? You're not paying for it. It's not germane. It doesn't freaking matter. Is your life in jeopardy? Are you on the verge of being stamped out because of racism and persecution? Are you denied opportunity to work because of your skin color and you're starving as a consequence? Is life got you by the balls and you're screwed? Or are you just destination shopping? It doesn't matter what your flight. If your flight's $40,000 per person, then you're not paying for it until you get here. Then you need to worry about it. What's more important, surviving or worrying about the price of a plane flight? I'm not picking on you, Pat. This has come up repeatedly in the past. I don't understand the logic. What does it matter? It just doesn't matter. If your life is in jeopardy, that's what matters. I mean, I can't imagine someone breaks your house. You go, okay, well, we're eating dinner here. Do we run out the back before they murder us all? Or we just, eat our food and hope they don't kill us? I don't mean to be sarcastic, but seriously, it doesn't matter. Why do you need to know what the cost of a flight is? Anyone want to tell me, why do you need to know what the cost of a flight is? You'll find out when they book your tickets. They'll tell you. You're welcome. Nah, look, phones do that. I get it. Amanda says you're doing wonderful work for our people. Sent you a mail from Liesel when you have time to take a look. Okay, on the move. What if you work for a boss yet? It's not on paper and you're still scared against you. Okay, Jacques, what have I said a billion times? What do you have to do to qualify for refugee status? Do you have to produce evidence? No. What do you have to do? You must, under the law, articulate. Articulate. What does articulate mean? So that we don't lead people astray. Let's just go look up the definition of articulate. Articulate definition. Having or showing the ability to speak fluently and coherently. Express fluently and coherently. What does it mean when someone is to articulate? An articulate person is someone who can express their thoughts, ideas, and feelings clearly, effectively, and fluently in speech or writing using well-chosen words and logical structure. You simply have to articulate. Doesn't mean you have to be a wordsmith. You have to explain clearly and convincingly that this happened to you. For instance, Jacques Rouble, if you can't get a job or you got fired from a job, and you say, well, I got fired because I'm white. Okay, well, tell us how that happened. Well, the supervisor's black and he fired me. You're not going to pass the test, Jacques Lober. If, however, on the other hand, this is what happened to you, like Charles Van Onselen. I worked for the city of Durban for 22 years. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in public management and finance at the bachelor's level. I was forced to train 12 people over the course of 5 years, all of whom were black, none of whom had master's degrees. Every one of them has been promoted above me since I trained them. Ooh, that sounds like I might be persecuted because of your skin color. I mean, after all, if you were good enough to train them, that they were good enough to be promoted, then obviously you must be good enough to be promoted. Unless, of course, you've been convicted of corruption or you have a criminal record and they don't trust you. See, all these things come into play. So there you go, Jacques. That's one example of how you articulate. Okay? What about this? We were attacked because we're white. How so? We live on a farm. Okay. There's lots of farm attacks. Black people are attacked on farms. Colored people are attacked on farms. White people are attacked on farms. Indians are attacked on farms. Yeah, but this is specifically because we're white. Well, okay, tell me your story. Well, I was at the tuck shop a few kilometers from our farm, picking up some soft drinks for our workers. And some guy was there in a big Mercedes. And I heard him talking back behind there to the owner. Says, yeah, we want a list. Give us the name of these farmers. No, just the white farmers. Why do you need it? Don't worry about it. We just need a list of white farmers. And you recognize the license plate from Joburg, from Gauteng. And then you get attacked a few days after that. And they scrawl, kill the boar on the wall. Sounds to me like racial persecution. All right? Do I know why refugees being asked to give in passport photos when biometrics are done? I have no idea. I've asked the U.S. government. I don't have a response. It's a weekend. You guys are asking me questions on a weekend. You could have asked me, well, last week, but you didn't know this last week. So I don't have an answer. Don't know why you need to give photographs. They have a copy of your passport, presumably. Do they not? Did you not present a passport when you did an interview? If you haven't gone for an interview, of course they're going to need copies of your passport. Saves a lot of time. So you guys aren't giving the context. Biometrics are not passports. Biometrics are not passports. They're doing biometrics so they know that you're actually who you say you are. DNA samples, things like that. How often you go to Nashville? Never. My brother lives here. I've been there 3 times the last 20 years. It's a long way from here. And I don't really care for Nashville. The area is nice, but not Nashville itself. Many people from September, October have been waiting for medicals to expire within the next 2 months. I've answered that question 7 times in this broadcast, Penguin. Why is this happening? Because it's fucked up. That's why it's happening. Is it normal? No, it's not normal. There's your answer. I already went through this, explained how I would run the system twice in this program. Pat said, didn't expect the question to be interpreted that wrong. I think I'll rather take a step back from questions. Thank you. Pat, there's no reason for you to step back from questions. I didn't interpret it wrong. The way your question was written, that's how it's open to interpretation. And again, I said that's not you. I said I get asked that all the time. So you don't need to step back at all. Ask your question. Wow, are people's feelings hurt that easily and bruised? Wow. I don't know anything about a family with adult dependents or case of the back burn. I know nothing about that, Alan. I don't know what the source you have for that. I have no source that indicates that. Or you respond to Andre the Great. What did Andre the Great say? I don't even see Andre the Great's comment here, so I really can't address that. Yeah, Charles, you did mention they tried to steal your son. Someone I know applied for work was denied as a result of BE and then proceeded to get harassed by the police for simply crying sitting in their car. Well, okay, being harassed by the police for crying in your car is not necessarily a racial thing, unless there's some element to it that was racially motivated, and you can articulate that. But yeah, losing your job because of BE, that's racial persecution. Yep. I notice that's why I think until people calm down, it's best to keep asking all my questions. No, Pat, you keep asking your questions. I appreciate the questions. How can we address these fears if we don't know them? Ask your questions. I said there are no dumb questions here. But when I answer a question already in this broadcast and people ask it for the second, third, or fourth, or fifth time because that's when they tune in, that's very selfish. Watch the damn thing from the beginning. Hey, Delilah, what's going on? Sorry, Colonel, I know it's annoying. Also, my boss was white, but he threatened me he could replace me with a black worker for less pay. Okay, Jacques, that's not annoying. It's annoying for you, not annoying for me. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. Look, I can't coach people. I'm not here to coach people. I'm just trying to tell you, if you think it was racially based, then you need to tell them. But someone telling you they can replace you with someone who's cheaper and to work for less pay, yeah, that's not necessarily racial persecution. I mean, I can replace the people working in the veterans organization, people work for less. And they want to get lippy and snotty. And look, you want to be difficult, I can find someone to do your job for less. If, however, but I mean, if your boss is white, it's got to be a little more than that. See, I didn't have all the circumstances. That's why I can't make things up for you guys. I mean, just answer as best I can. Penguin says, understood. Okay. No, you're not annoying at all, Jacques Rober. Not at all. None of these questions are annoying, guys. I hope, if it's coming across you that it's annoying, I'm annoyed. You're inferring wildly incorrectly. That's not even at all. Entire family got emails requesting them to take passport photos and send it back within 4 hours. They already received their approval letters. Wow. Well, Straughtcott. I mean, maybe people should submit them. And I would stay away from chatbots. Chat GPT, no, I'd stay away from it. Quadasi, do you think those that could get out of South by themselves have mostly left, or are they holding on? No, it's a mix, Quadasi. I think there's people that can get out of South. South just haven't left because they like the comfy life. Some of them are wealthy. They've got a comfortable life. Others, but yeah, there are those who are desperate to get out, that can get out, that they pretty much, most of them have gotten out. Yep, they live in the UK, they live in New Zealand, live in Australia. Yep, but those places have become much more difficult to go to. I think some people are holding on to see what happens in South Africa. I think you're right about that. It's a good question. Yeah, see, Charles was emergency dispatcher for 28 years, trained lots of people, and was supervised for 2 years, but didn't get the job he was filling in because a black person got promoted over him. Yep. Just join. Have you spoken about the foot mount? No, I haven't talked about that, Glenn Marie. This is a refugee program. Talked about a lot of my news programs. Absolutely. Yep. Offered John Steenhuisen an opportunity to come on and tell people what was going on in April of last year. Yeah, April. And again in May. And was promised an appearance. Never showed up. Trump Americana is making an assertion here, which I have nothing to back up. Is it your analysis or you know something we don't know? He said the photos, put a face to your file, somebody work with your file, can see if any of the documents don't match. Just make sure the files don't get mixed up. That's a reasonable conclusion, but I have no evidence of that. But I'll accept your premise. If you have bad credit record, will that affect your case? Will it block you from going to the U.S.? It depends, Sonneblum. Did you defraud people? Or are you just someone that ran into bad luck, couldn't pay your bills? That's a big difference. People have bad credit ratings who are crooks. That affects it. If you're not a crook, it may not affect it. What advice can you give if I can't get my reaction reply answer from Kenya? 7 weeks. My case page instructed me to contact them via email. Oh, Strotcut, that is a very interesting case. Did they give you a specific email to an agent? You need to send me an email with the screen capture of what email you've got, because I wonder if it wasn't just a pro forma, a standard boilerplate thing they sent you. Dylan Jordan, it says, my family's chosen to stay. Will I ever be able to come back and see them? The only thing that makes me sad is my parents. Well, Dylan Jordan, if you go as a refugee, you have to understand that you're a refugee, and the United States has agreed to provide protection in the United States for you. Therefore, they're not going to allow you to go to South Africa while you're in that status, unless the conditions underlying the refugee status are ameliorated in South Africa. Do you think the 145 race-based laws are going away? Do you think the racial abuse that Fikile Mbalula and others in the ANC hurl upon racial minorities is going away? No, it's not. BE is not going to go away. So that's not going to change. So will you ever be able to go back? Well, that's a very open-ended question. If you stay in America, Dylan Jordan, and apply for citizenship at the 5-year point and get granted citizenship, say in that first year, so probably after about 6 years, you have a U.S. passport and go where the hell you want. You can go back to South Africa. You're an American citizen, entitled to protections and support of the American government. So yeah, that's a tough road to hoe, but either your life is in jeopardy or it's not. You know, I mean, I can't make these decisions for people, and I can't encourage you to do one thing or another. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. But I mean, you know, I don't know why parents, you know, maybe they've got life good. Maybe they're comfortable. They don't want to leave the place that's their home. Maybe they love it. They're tied to land so much. But I know a lot of people like that who are dead now because they were murdered, unfortunately. Doesn't mean it's going to happen to most people. It only happens to a small number of people, thank God. I was told by RC that some cases had errors in uploading documents, pics. That's why they're requested again. Well, that seems a more plausible answer at West House, given how screwed up RSC can be at times. After approval letters, your case sent to RSC to do travel arrangements? No, USCIS doesn't arrange your travel. Thank you, Mad Max. Just got up. We're going out tonight with SAPs. We expect those 3 in the pics. Okay, yeah, you've got in the closed circuit TV that people are trying to break into farms. Good luck. Be careful out there, Max. Thank you for 35 Rand. Yep. It's told by RSC that some cases had. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. After approval letter, is your case sent back to RSC? Yes, it is. The people that are currently contracted to book your travel, RSC. It explains why some of the errors are being made, because I don't obviously know what they're doing half the time, or part of the time. Yeah, so yes, RSC is the one that books your travel, not USCIS. USCIS is not a travel agency. They're not a placement agency. They are a investigative and referral agency. They're people who investigate your cases, they adjudicate your case, and they refer it for approval, and it's approved by U.S. authorities, or it's denied. That's what they do. They don't handle travel. Nope. Hey there, Delilah. Oh yeah, it's a song by Tom Jones. Delilah. 360 says, no, Colonel Strockcat, I think is talking about that new under review status, the standard email and blank screen with no process list of my case. Okay, I'm not sure. They asked for all your contact numbers, emails, and time frame activity, nothing to worry about. Yeah, that's normal. Oh, someone said they check your social media. Yeah, I did. I'm the one who said that. I have Facebook, but I also had other accounts 5-10 years. Do not remember what email or what social media was. Hope this won't be an issue. You don't remember what your user account was and those things? That seems strange. Not unusual, but you disclose as much as you can. If they ask you, did you have a WhatsApp account? I did. Did you have that's not really social media. Did you have an Instagram account? Yes, I did. What's the username? Don't know. I don't remember. I haven't used it in years. Yeah, you tell them as best you can. All right. Pat's Pat. See, that's why I want you to keep asking questions. That's a good question to ask, okay? It shouldn't be an issue. But if you've done something, I mean, if you've gone on your social media and called for the murder of an ethnic group, you're screwed. If you've gone on your social media and displayed racist or bigoted positions, you might be in a little bit of trouble. My parents are just grateful that there's an opportunity to start over for us. All right, Delilah. Remember how it was just B, then became BEE? What? Yeah, exactly. You're welcome, Dylan Jordan. I hope that answered your question fully. Crimson says, sorry for the stupid question. What's the big deal with the underbridge certificate? Underbridge? You mean unabridged? Will I be able to fly? Well, first off, Crimson, if you're running into trouble with Home Affairs, find a different office. They're all over the country. Some are competent. Some get you stuff within a matter of days. Others are useless turds who hold stuff back. What's the deal with the unabridged birth certificate? Well, in order to apply for a green card, you have to have a birth certificate. You have to have a birth certificate that includes who you are and who your parents are. That's an unabridged birth certificate. Simple as that. You will be able to fly over here without one. Also, there is a possibility you can ask for a waiver if you can't produce one. I mean, there's always an out to every system. Thank you, Video Clips, for subscribing. Yeah, so what's the big deal? It is a huge deal. We shouldn't let just any Tom, Dick, and Harry come into our country, or Mary, Susan, or Jane. People who are not a threat to this population should be the ones that are allowed to come in this country. And we can't determine that if we can't prove who you are. So that's why. It is a big deal, Crimson. But it's also not a stupid question. Thank you for asking it. We know it's about 3 months between comms and RSC. Can't wait to get to the U.S. and become a redneck woman, Marissa says. What's the email address for Colonel Wyatt? There it is. Wirebird, and Wills put it in. Okay. People were asking for Wills the other night and said Wills is disappearing. I said, no, he's around. Hope you don't mind, Colonel, but I emailed the situation. Yeah, please do, Jacques Rowe, but I'll try to set some time aside tonight to look at all these questions. But I got to start preparing for my trip. I fly Thursday to Dallas. Facebook blocked my account a few months ago. No idea why, so that turned out to be a plus. Yeah, exactly. Some people just don't want to believe that what would happen to them, and think that hope. Yeah, exactly, Stan. You're right, Stan. Some people just want to hope for the best, and then tragedy befalls them. Yep. And Dave said it's needed for the green card. It's correct. But they do have waivers. For instance, Erica, who's approved for the program but isn't over here yet. Erica, who was one of my moderators. She hasn't moderated in ages. She's still officially a moderator, but she's dealing with life issues. Erica, she can't get a birth certificate because she was born in Katanga, in a country that doesn't exist. Katanga does not exist. So she can't get a birth certificate from Katanga because it does not exist. So what is she supposed to do? Well, she's going to have to get a birth certificate, except that she can't. So what happens? Well, they can do a waiver in her case. Does that make sense? Okay. Cool beans. New trend of using devil's breath to steal and commit kidnappings. Okay. Thanks, Curl. Yeah, I kind of made a few socials and found them hard to use. I abandoned them after a while. I used it for 2 months. Yeah, no, I got you. Look, I mean, some of them suck. I mean, I've had accounts, but you got to be careful too, because I mean, I get stuff like, oh, your account, like Coin. I don't have a Coinbase account. They're sending me stuff all the time, just to make people aware around Joburg. Okay, got that right. They're requiring unabridged marriage certificate as well, and I don't understand why. Because they require it. Doesn't matter what we understand, Kevin. Okay, there's a hold up with unabridged to its national level. I don't know if that's true, Monster Max. I know people have got them very quickly. Well, Wills is here, Pat, so ask your question. Only social media years ago that I know of, maybe an account to message overseas friend. Yep. All right, realization. Heidelberg Hauteng Home Affairs is excellent, efficient, and friendly. There you go. Thank you for that, Rose. Debbie just bought my tent. My place is booked. Well, you got to be careful. The snow's falling off the roof now. It might collapse your tent. Yeah, so thank you for that. The Heidelberg office is efficient, friendly, quick, easy. Plus, there's a WhatsApp office number that you can check. Okay, cool. Rand analysis, how that political stance and futures of that all results point to a very negative outcome for all minorities. I think it's a very negative outcome for all South Africans. Whoops, what the hell? It's jumped again. Question. Finished early September, including meds. Orientation got linked to my case late November. Been under review since. They have all documents under review in the process. Reason, perhaps? Reason? Well, very simple reason. One which we've shared many, many times, Daryl. Tens of thousands of applications and only a handful of people work. How many people do you guys think is working this program? Let me ask this question. How many people do you think from RC are working to get you out of South Africa on a daily basis? Anybody want to guess? How many people work for Americanas? You want to guess? How many people work for USCIS are there? You want to guess? Anybody? 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 McFly? Anybody? I'm going to answer your question very easily now. Busy day tomorrow. Thank you, Colonel, says Deanie. All right, take care. I saw a post saying they're intending to send $4,000 per month. Well, that is because someone stole my content and my analysis, in which I'm one reported that there's a possibility that after the next 2 months, they'll raise to $4,000 per month. I also question whether it was valid based on my independent sources, but they're stealing my content and posting that. So no one can validate the rumor because it's a rumor. But I have 2 independent sources who claim that that's the case. But I'm not convinced it's going to happen. It's easily feasible. It's 133 refugees per day. Piece of cake, easy peasy. Thank you, Debbie. Wills is watching the trolls. Going next week, collect my wife's certificate into marriage. Cool. What about medical negligence because of being white? Oh, absolutely, Eugene. I ran through this the other day. Do I still have it, or have I closed that file? No, I closed the file. Yeah. No, I did this the other day. I talked about the heartbreaking story about a guy whose father died. Yeah, medical negligence because of race. Comments, well, you people are white. You should go to a private hospital. Well, you can wait. You think you're more important than anyone else? Yeah, that's racial persecution. In a private hospital, it's not state persecution, but it is persecution. But in a state hospital, it's definitely persecution. Absolutely. Absolutely, Eugene. If you've been a victim of negligence medically because of, or a family member because of racism, then absolutely. $8 months to get my underbridge birth certificate from Home Affairs. Yeah, no one's ever heard of a bridge certificates before. That's a South African thing. He passed away tragically 10 weeks ago. Not sure if he was linked to me. Well, there's no way for you to inform them, Daryl, until you get called in. And when you do an interview, you inform that your brother passed away. I'm sorry for your loss. That's tragic. Yeah, you tell them then. Don't worry about it in the meantime. Yeah, Durka's a problem. They pray you don't have to deal with them. Yeah, they're very unresponsive. No, Home Affairs isn't great. 5, 50. Okay, there we go. 10. All right, so Amerikaners, I think it's 3 or 4 people working Amerikaners. I think that's the number. I don't know for sure. Or I don't have the exact number RC, but my guess is that it's probably 30 people max. And U.S. people doing investigations, 30 to 40 at a given time, probably in South Africa doing investigations and interviewing. And there's tens of thousands of you guys, okay? A handful at best. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to process these things in a timely fashion without mistakes in a clear fashion would require a dedicated facility and, in my view, 100 investigators at a minimum, 150 interviewers, and 300 people processing cases at a minimum. This would be about a 500-man operation to do this effectively and efficiently. Yep. And there's no way there are 500 people doing this. When I first heard about Prime Plot, I did my passport and my birth certificate and I got everything in my phone out. Good. Not more than 20. Yep. Okay. Called a Nigerian with a Southern passport, I think. Well, lots of passports are stolen, Marissa. Lots of passports are stolen. They change the photograph. Yep. That's why the biometric ones are so important. The ones that have been out for the past number of years. You think the Trump administration is aware of these issues? Yeah, I don't think they are aware or that they're concerned about it at a high level. don't think at a high level in the administration they really care. No, there aren't 15 or 20 Amerikaners. No. But your guess in RSC is probably good but high. No, but there's more USCIS. That one I know for sure. That number I know for sure. My mom doesn't have birth certificate either. An affidavit was accepted. Yeah, see, there you go. See, Renz, I said they make exceptions. You're required to have birth certificate. People freak out. Just because you're required doesn't mean I don't have an original birth certificate. I have a photostatic copy of my birth certificate. Akazia, Home Affairs in Pretoria North is also good and quick. Okay, cool. Thank you, Nadine, for sharing that. Truth Seeker says, like flights being canceled, no contact. Okay, I don't know what that's not a complete sentence. I don't know what that means. Choose DHA office carefully because I was told by someone who's gone through the refugee process, once you apply, can't go to another one. Yep. Left with a massive scar on my head now. That's a shame, Eugene. Sorry. Take care, Fun Blair. I don't think it's safe to upload passport photos. Much better take it to the... Well, you do what I don't know. What do you mean it's safe to upload passport photos? Where? On a U.S. government server? I think it's safe. Weekly safety meeting, they refused to do it in English, and even after my assistant told them to speak English, I refused. How must I then know what to look for my team myself? I will give you guys advice. Apply now for your unabridged birth certificate. Take 3 to 6 months. Well, it depends. Edenvale is another one. Vanessa says Edenvale works. Go ahead, Sigourney. I'll try to get to it. Anybody in Overberg? Bredasdorp. See, there are patches of excellence in home affairs. Tulips, once approved, do they give you time to resign for your job? No, they don't give you any time. Nope. Once approved, when you get the word to fly, you get the word to fly. That could be in 2 weeks, could be in a month, could be after that. Approval doesn't mean you're going anywhere. They've got to get you slotted. They've got to find a place to put you. They've got to find a refugee agency who's willing to accept you. They've got to find money to pay for all that. Then they've got to book your flights, and then they've got to get you out of there. No. So I've told you, obviously, Tulips, you are not watching this program. I've interviewed almost 30 refugee families that have come over here. Some have had 3 days notice. Some have had 8 days notice. Some have had 2 weeks notice from the time their tickets were booked. Can you ask for an extension? Ask for an extension. That's a fool's errand. Do you want to get out? Why do you need an extension? Either your life is in jeopardy or it's not. To wait for approval before it can resign. What do you mean you have to wait for approval? What are they, sorry, what are they going to do to you? I mean, maybe they keep your pension, maybe that, but what are they going to do to you? So you get the word that you have to leave in 7 days, and you're saying that you have to get approval from South Africans to leave the country? You can't resign? Are you a slave? You have to work. I'm not trying to be facetious, but are you a slave? You have to work where they tell you to work? No, you can resign. I mean, there are consequences to it if you piss off your employer, absolutely. But they can't tell you can't resign. That's I don't understand that. Are you fleeing or not is the question. No, the level of danger doesn't have any impact on us. Dante van Wyk is one of the people I've interviewed in this program. He's in the refugee program. He has, I don't know, has he been approved yet? Yeah, I think he's been approved. Anyway, Dante van Wyk is still in South Africa hiding from the EFF who are trying to murder him. Or they're thugs that they're promoting to murder him. He has clear threats to his life and his safety. And he's in South Africa. He's been in the program for months now. So the level of danger obviously doesn't impact that. I mean, you're going to be hard-pressed to find. I don't know if Twatterboss is in the program. I don't know. Twatterboss's life is threatened because of the malicious attacks by and unwarranted attacks by News 24. And he's had death threats. People come to his property and threaten to murder him. He isn't out. And oh, by the way, he knows Elon Musk. So it doesn't appear it has any impact on him whatsoever. Brockpound was quick. Wow, Brockpound. Wow, that's crazy. They told me to learn Zulu. I said, but I learned English for a reason, so we can all understand one another. Oh, well, Pat, then you can use that. You can use that. The lingua franca in South Africa is English, so you can tell them that. That sounds like persecution there. Charles says it appears there's a bottleneck at USCIS. I don't think that's true. As far as I know, there are thousands of people that are already approved and waiting to fly out. Yeah, Shylock says, when they tell you to upload photos, do it or get settled in for a long stay. Yeah, Brockpound is a real town. Oh, I have had the hat for ages. I only wear it occasionally. What happens if you don't get approved and just leave? Will they put you in jail? Who will put you in jail? Undercover. Who's going to put you in jail? Your company? They can't put you in jail. Patrick, I'm not sure what you mean by, but thank you. Medical's tomorrow, okay? Didn't have an unabridged certificate, but it did apply last year. Did get unabridged certificate, no problem at RC, and no problem UCS, going myself. Yeah, once again, Stephen, you're not listening, Stephen Swanepoel. It has nothing to do with coming over here. An unabridged birth certificate has nothing to do with your coming over here. Applying for a green card requires a birth certificate. People like the hat. Cool. Hey, Sven. You need a passport and a Brock pen. Yeah, don't dox yourself in this chat. Andres Muller says he's ready to leave in 3 minutes flat. Okay. If we receive approval in December, when do you think, realistically speaking, we can get out? I don't know, Delilah. I don't know. Or Delia, sorry. Delia. I don't know. How can I answer that question? I don't have the list of numbered people who are already approved by the time you were approved and how many of them have now flown. I would suspect that if you were approved in December, that the odds are pretty good you'll be flying soon. I mean, 120 per day. This thing froze. 120 per day. Oh, hang on. Freaking Facebook. Not Facebook. Firefox is acting up. Oh my goodness. What's with this browser? Gee, many crickets. Oh, come on, YouTube. Gee, many crickets. Now YouTube is just acting up. Received your payment. Good. I paid a credit card off because it's the beginning of the month. Well, I can't even get into YouTube now. Isn't that interesting? Am I still live? Yeah, so let's just do the math. I mean, 120 per day. Just go with 100. 25 days in January, that's 2,500. If they average about, because they weren't all 100, 120 every day. Yep, especially the first week or so. So that's 2,500. Add that, it's 2,500 off the list. You could be very soon. How will the South African government take your passports? I don't understand that fear. Unless you're a wanted criminal, there's no basis to take your passports. Yeah, dear employer, I'm leaving the country. Fleeing the country. Would like to send you my 2 weeks' notice. Spent years trying to explain to the staffers you get summer cowboy hats, winter cowboy hats. Why are you wearing a summer hat in January? Because I'm in my studio. I'm in my studio. And I'm too frugal to spend $700 on a winter cowboy hat. Hans. Employers scream about loyalty, but they have no problem pushing out exactly when they do something for themselves. Exactly. Oh, my goodness. Joe Texas wants to run those long Tweefel Buffles Montines Court Mon Dords Kasik Fontaine. FF member is staying on property we live. She threatened to call the FF to come to the property because the landlord increased the rent. God. I missed a bit of stream because my phone acted up. No, Janine, they're not doing it in other towns. Cape Town, Joburg, and Pretoria. Thank you, Henny Visa, for 35 Rand. Initial contact, follow-up from Eric Connors, waiting for first call. Okay. Delia says, really appreciate it. You're welcome. I don't know if this is still true, but you can apply, fill in your form to have your case considered to be expedited due to your life being in danger. Dante has gone through what he's supposed to go through, and he's still in South Africa, okay? And I also know people who are being targeted by News 24 whose life is in danger, and those people had a flight canceled. They're not here. So I mean, it can say a lot of things, but that doesn't mean it's true. Yeah, Firefox is becoming non-responsive lately. Yeah, it's a problem. God bless it. Every time I try to catch up, I just get way behind again. I'm answering these things so damn quickly, too. Same. Home Affairs did my 5-week-old baby passport in just over a week. It's taken more than 3 months. Yeah, exactly. What happens if a single person has difficulty walking, use a walk stick when landing that side? As people are saying, you have to walk far and fast. I take it you've never flown, Mr. P. You've never flown anywhere before. So, we have a phenomenon in America and at most civilized countries, and even in South Africa, where if you're incapable of walking a long distance because you're infirm, you simply request a wheelchair. And then at no cost, they bring someone from the airport staff or the airline to you with a wheelchair. You sit your bum down in it, and they take you to collect your bags. Then they take you to your next gate. I'm guessing you've never flown before. That's not sarcasm. I'm not being snarky. I'm just saying. If you are old or infirm or can't walk successfully, then they put you in America. They put you in those carts, those little golf carts. They zip you around the airport. Yep. But the problem is in America is fat, lazy people use them all the time. Oh, I can't walk. I got a heart condition. And you look at these lines at some of these airlines, and you'll see 30 people with wheelchairs or being brought up by golf carts so they can jump the front of the queue and get in the plane and load their fat asses in the seats first. Yeah, true story. Been a lot of complaints about that recently. A lot of demands for the transportation Department of Transportation to deal with this issue of fake people who are misusing that resource. Plus, it's a huge burden on airports and airlines to be chauffeuring all these lazy asses around instead of walking through airports. If, however, you are infirm, they will get you on a golf cart and take you to where you need to go, or they will get you a wheelchair and they'll wheel you around. They don't give you the wheelchair. You can't just run around the airport with a wheelchair. They put you in the wheelchair and they take you from point to point. But what we see is with these people who pull this crap who aren't really infirm or don't have real medical issues that get in line that sometimes is long or longer than the rest of the people, is that they get up and walk around perfectly fine on the plane. Yeah. And then you see them running the Popeyes or running through the airport after they get off a flight. Yeah. A lot of people are just scumbags. But yeah, there's a method to help people. Mr. P, does that answer your question? Okay. You do have to walk far. I mean, I've walked kilometers in airports. Yeah, it's crazy. And with my hip, it was fun. And sometimes it's fast because you're going to miss a connecting flight. Atlanta is huge. Chicago is huge, but Atlanta is really huge physically. It takes a long time. You have to take a train to get from place to place. I have wrestled with being less noticed than is my employer comp, but if I get travel confident, it's less, then I will talk to my boss with my hat in my hand and say, sorry, boss. Yeah, well, Dave, that's the right way to do it. I mean, I know people who've said, listen, I've applied for the refugee program. I don't know when I'll be leaving. Oh, really? You're fired. Yep. Numbers of programs down is going to be a huge system shock. It is. Applied to Tongat Sugar, I assume you're talking about, as friend got good service. You're talking about the refugee or the office. Peter Wick, good day to you. Really pass. Okay, good luck with your passport appointment there, Rikus. Who can blame you? Well, I can't blame you, Delia. I can't blame you. You have a lovely avatar, by the way. Do you have any indication on the numbers today to apply for this program? No, Daryl. No one has a real number on that. I've made analysis based on the information that was available to me. Secretary Rubio said 70,000 in May last year. So that was in May. Who knows what the number is? He gave that testimony in Congress, so I would have to presume that was an accurate number. You were contacted on Friday for fingerprints and your statement of interest was in May. See, look at that. May. People are asking for average times. Can't go with that. Okay, stop talking to people around you about leaving. Yeah, exactly. Stop. Just leave. Put resignation the same day and leave. Stop letting people know what's happening in your life. You become a target. Spot on, Kwa Dasi. Yep. Spot on. I would not disagree with that statement. Let's put this in context. Do you think the Somalis who fled from Somalia bothered to tell their neighbors, okay, I'm going to be in a refugee program. I'm leaving for Kenya in 2 weeks? No, they just got up and left. The African continent is splitting apart. The Rift Valley has been splitting for millions of years, and eventually the east portion of Africa will be separated from Africa. Can a person permanently stay in a caravan park in the U.S.? We don't have caravan parks as such. We have campgrounds, if that's what you mean. I don't know. It depends on the location. And who owns it? If it's private property and they want to let you stay there, sure. A lot of people do live in those places long term. We have trailer parks, but that's really low income. Caravan parks, something different. Trump counters out. You're welcome. No, Trump counter. It's all right. I didn't. I just was puzzled by what you said. Didn't take offense to it. Thank you. You can book help with a wheelchair in advance. Recommended, pre-booked, and sure you go in. Yep. Well, when you book flights, you need to let them. I mean, let RSC know that, hey, you know, my grandmother's 88. She can't walk in the airport. That's a consideration. You make sure you book a wheelchair. But once you got a flight, you can check on it. If it's not there, you can ask for assistance. Yep. Political views on social media is not frowned upon, but, you know, racism, bigotry, and, you know, calling for the elimination of people is. Yeah, Denver's crazy big too, Joe. You're right about that. Dallas is big. Oh my gosh. I hadn't had an injection. I had to walk through Dallas the last time. Oh my gosh. When I came back from, was it from Idaho? I went through Dallas. I'm trying to remember. It was miserable. I had to walk and there was nothing to buy. The shops were crap. And I had to walk forever. And it was really pissed because all these lard asses were riding around on these carts. And I'm actually trying to make an effort to walk. And I was in agony the whole time. Yeah, Atlanta's massive. Denver's massive. Chicago's massive. But Denver and Atlanta are probably the two biggest ones physically I've seen. And Dallas is big too. No, I haven't seen anything from Jack Miller. What's it about there? Cape Town, USA. Cape Town labor law says you can give 24-hour notice without reason. There you go. South African labor law. There you go, great man. I didn't know that. Thank you for that. Okay. Joe's saying send a resignation email at the airport. We are 4 from Denver, planning on flying Thursday to Texas for meet and greet. Oh my goodness, Fonz. Oh wow. Wow. I didn't know you guys were coming for the meet and greet. That's crazy. Fonz. Yeah. Argyle is where the meet and greet is at. I don't know how long you're staying. Send me a note, Fonz. We can chat about it. I'll see if maybe I can help you out. I've got someone to provide accommodation for me, but you can't provide it for other people. But there might be something else. But yeah, we can probably find a reasonably priced hotel near the meet and greet because it's not in the major metropolitan area. So, wow, that's incredible. People are flying from Denver to come to the meet and greet. I had no idea. I'm so humbled by that. That's crazy. Again, what if the person reviewing your social media is in opposition? Won't they be against you and decline you? No. Again, you guys, your case goes to an adjudicator. Okay? Thank you for membership, Sangrio. Thank you for membership. Your case goes to an adjudicator, and they are the ones that review all the investigation, which is what the stuff compiled from social media. But I mean, what are you trying to create a crisis and get your blood pressure up over something you have no insight into and have no idea who's looking at it? I wouldn't worry about it. Once again, so let me just put this way. Video clips. What if the person reviewing social media is in opposition? I assume you mean they oppose you politically. How many South Africans have been denied refugee status? How many South Africans have been denied who are qualified? How many? Can somebody give me the figure? Can somebody here tell me how many South Africans have been denied that have applied, that are eligible? How many South Africans have been denied refugee status? Anybody know? I'm sure somebody knows because I've talked about this endlessly. How many? There you go. There you go. So what are you worried about? Well, this isn't South Africa. This isn't these refugee, NGOs. These are U.S. government employees who are doing their job. They're doing it well. 0 is the answer. We have no confirmation of a single South African who is eligible to apply for this program has been denied. Evidence of that would be a letter from USCIS saying you've been denied. No one has produced any such thing. No, I wrote to Morgan, and I haven't heard from her again. Let me look and see if she read my message. Nope, I wrote to her on January 24th, and I've got no response from Morgan. That was a week ago. No response. I do, however, have an update from Project X. Nicole put together a book, which I don't know how to get it to you guys, other than putting it in some groups. And let me see, find it from Nicole. The sun is really starting to piss. I got to change the sun. Hang on. Change. That was driving me nuts. It's still there though, but it's mostly gone now. So, yeah, it's that time of year when the Earth is tilted so high up that it just comes in this room, and those are blinds, not curtains, so I can't shut it fully. Yeah, but Nicole from Project X, who there was this whole big stink going on. Hang on. She sent me a booklet. I was actually the first person to get it. Their final draft for their project. So let me pull this up. Okay, where's it at? That's not it. What the hell's the name of the file? Project, okay. Where the hell's it at? Okay, now I've saved it, so. There it is, okay. So I'll show you on screen. So what I can do is put this in the groups and have mods start sharing it, but Project X. So this is what Project X has come up. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not criticizing it. I'm not promoting it. I'm just telling you what's available. I was apparently the first person that got a copy of this. It's final draft, so I guess that means it's a finished product. I don't know why AI's come up here. It's kind of annoying. So, all right, so Project X. You guys ready for this? I'll just show you what it looks like if anyone's interested in it. Okay, there you go. Project X Pet Relocation Manual, South Africa to the United States. Nicole Feldman. Okay, Feldsman. So there you go. Practical, Ethical, and Compliant Focus Guide to International Pet Relocation. First edition. There you go. All right. May not be reproduced, stored, or transmitted. Well, she told me I could share it, so I have permission. So anyway, this manual is prepared for the purpose of providing general information, guidance, and educational material relating to the international relocation of companion pets, specifically dogs and cats, from South Africa to the United States, intended to assist pet owners in understanding the procedural, regulatory, veterinary, and logistical considerations commonly associated with international travel. There you go. Vaccinations, microchips for pets, rabies, titer tests, hookworms, roundworms, dewormers, parasites, taking the flight, the crate size for your pets. This is very extensive. And they got a lot of pages in here, 100 plus pages. Wow, 170, 82 pages. That's pretty extensive. So, there you go. Wow. Look at that. Ooh, rabies. There's definitely some pets that have rabies there. Look at that cat, man. Woo, that's a European cat. So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? That's what Nicole sent to me. Cape Town and Ortem are mini malls compared to Heathrow and Dubai. Yep. JFK's not that big, yeah. Beautiful scene landing. Yeah, but it's not that big. Colonel, would you give us your YouTube civics and basic U.S. history class in the future? Paris for sure. JFK is not a massive airport. It's tiny compared to these other ones. Yeah, it's dirty and it's old. Yeah, it looks pretty comprehensive, Charles. Yep. So I'm going to put that in. I'll give it to the mods, and they can start distributing it. So mods, okay. Okay, document. Okay. Oh, it's still open. I can't rename it. Shoot, I close it. Hate that about Windows. You can't rename something when it's open. It's just the way it is. Okay. That's not what I asked for, damn it. Ugh. All right, so it's with the moderators now. They can start distributing it however they like, okay? Hey, LD USA. Nothing wrong with the cats in the UK. Well, I said Europe. UK is not Europe. UK is not Europe. What are you talking about, Fleshin? You are not part of Europe. You're an island nation. All right. I think we've pretty much covered it. We've hit apogee here. We haven't hit 500 likes. What's up with that? What's up with that? Why are we not 500 likes? 2 hours here. Come on, guys. Hit the like button. Giving you a lot of time this Sunday. Okay, I hope we've answered most people's questions. We've been friendly and polite. We've tried. Quite a few cases of rabies and dogs in areas, some attacking people. Oh, geez. Newark Airport is pretty crappy. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button, and we'll catch you later on. Please catch my videos from earlier. Nicole did a lot of work putting it together. Yes, yep, she sure did, Simmery. And people tried to drag me into that bullshit between them and Pet Lift and all this other stuff, all because people who were wankers came on my program and lied about how much it cost. You want music? Sure, we can give you music. Let's give you the Texas meet and greet one, and I'll wrap it up with that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening, and we'll see how this week goes, okay? Cheers. We close that off, and here we go. It's the big Texas meet and greet. Pack your bags.
There's a brand new horizon for us to find, from the streets of Joburg to the Pretoria Sun. A new chapter starting and it's just begun. It's not Santon, baby, and it's not Margate. We're trading the reef for the Lone Star State. No JRU or the South Fork crew, just a red, white, and blue welcome waiting for you. From Bosnia's hills to the Botswana sand, he's carried the fire all across the land. A life for the flag, for the faith, for the free. Now he's opening the gates for you and for me. Oh, get ready for the Colonel's Texas meet and greet, where the Southers and the Patriots all dance in the street. Under the eagle's wings, where the spirit flies high, underneath that big old Dallas sky. It's camaraderie, it's liberty, it's a brand new day. South Africa, welcome to the USA. You've been through the fire, you've stood the test. Now come find your peace in the heart of the West. No more looking back at the shadows and gloom. In the land of the brave, there is plenty of room. Grab a plate, grab a hand, feel the Texas heat. There's a whole lot of love at this meeting.